Hi, I'm State Representative Julie Alexander. I am honored to be serving our Jackson County, Jackson community in these challenging times. And I'm very grateful to the Jackson Chamber of Commerce for giving me the opportunity to answer some of the questions that you have. Making sure you're informed is what's very important during this crucial time. Thank you for all you're doing. We're going to get through this just fine, but these are challenging times, and I know you have a lot of questions. So today, instead of having the roundtable, because of the governor's recent executive order, I'm working from home. So welcome to my office. Today is Thursday, March 26th, 2020, and everything is changing quickly. So I will do my best to give you updated information. But what's most important here is that you know how to get a hold of me. Both myself, Representative Sarah Leitner, who serves the 65th District, and Senator Shirkey. We are in constant communication with each other to making sure that you have accurate information. In fact, to that point, we're planning a town hall as early as next week to answer some of those questions. So today, on behalf of the Ask of Jackson Chamber of Commerce, I'm excited not to be able to participate in the roundtable to provide this question and answer period. Before I start answering your questions, I would just like to remind everyone, as your representative, I'm happy to offer these guidelines, this information, but they are for informational purposes only. I am unable to give any legal advice, opinion, or interpretation of the executive orders. You may want to contact the governor's office herself and get those direct answers. There are many resources, and below this Facebook post, you will find links to many of them that I'm referencing here. In addition, by calling my office, by emailing my office, we can provide that information to you as well. In fact, if you go to my state website, GOP House Julie Alexander, or just type in State Representative Julie Alexander and find my official website, we will have a link to the coronavirus frequently asked questions. That takes you to the state information as well. So, our first questions today come from Mary from Jackson, Joey from Jackson, Karen from Jackson, and Wendy from Habitat for Humanity. Their questions are all very similar. They're asking about the resources that are provided for businesses. First of all, there are many resources available both at the federal and the state level, but it's continually changing. There are new links, there are new options, there are new reference pages. It gets confusing for all of us trying to keep track of it. So we want to make sure you have the most current information. Something that just came out just recently was this document, Resources for Small Business Owners and Workers. This gives you a lot of links and resources that you'll find helpful. Again, the questions are, what are we doing? Well, at the state level, there will be a variety of plans and packages. There also are many plans and opportunities for you at the federal level also. So to keep you informed, as that was my ice machine going there. So to keep you going and informed, we will make sure you have the correct links. You can call my office, 517-373-1795. You can go to my website. We will make sure that those links are in place for you so that you have current information. As I mentioned, I have staff available to all of us right now, and they are working just as hard as I am right now, is putting the hours in to get you the answers. In fact, when we found out that only takeouts were going to be allowed, I asked my staffer, David, to call all of our local restaurants to find out what their hours are. Of all the Facebook posts I put out there, that's been the most popular, just showing how we are helping out our local businesses by taking takeout. So I thank you to my staff. Just like you as employers, just like you as employees, we all need each other and depend on each other for current and accurate information. The next question will go to Dale from Parma. He asks about tax payment extensions. So in regard to income tax, we know that President Trump We know that at the federal level, they have implemented a different deadline for federal taxes to be filed. We have not yet done so at the state. We are waiting for the governor to make that call. But please know that the legislators and I have been in constant communication to extend that state deadline for us as well if the governor does not do that. We need fair, we need equitable, and we need some consistency. So we look forward to helping solve that problem as well. Richard from Brooklyn asks this question: is the cure worse than the disease? From all the information that's been provided by medical experts, it's anticipated that the number of cases will grow in the next week, not decline. We're seeing that in our own Jackson community. As I sit here in my office at my kitchen table, I receive the updates on a regular basis. People are scared. They're unsure of what all those new high numbers mean and how that's going to impact them. So, safe at home, by staying at home, following the governor's executive order, it is the right thing to do right now to help decrease the spread. So what we know is that, again, the number will continue to increase, not decline. That's why preventable measures to stop the spread and lower the curve are so important right now. One of the most common questions I've been getting lately, and this has been keeping me very busy, people are concerned with filing claims for unemployment insurance. And I get that. A lot of people have never filed those claims before and aren't sure what that means. They've never even been able to file. Maybe they don't even pay into unemployment. But all of those issues have been taken into consideration right now. So Daryl from Jackson, Ben from Jackson, Rusty from Grass Lake, and Melissa with the Jackson Area Association of Realtors all basically asked the same question: how are we going to handle this with the unemployment benefits? I also have heard from many people that they're not able to get through on the website or the phone number, and that is a challenge. Please be diligent. We have been assured, I brought this up with the team recently, we've been assured that additional staff is being put on place, that they are working diligently to resolve these technology issues that come up. And I personally have had conversations about what is needed. Are more dollars needed to be allocated to that department to make sure that the people in our communities that need the service right now have that service available to them? I would also share this in answering some of the questions that were asked in regard to unemployment insurance. Governor Whitmer issued Executive Order 10, which suspends some of the unemployment insurance benefits eligibility requirements for individuals impacted by COVID-19. Additionally, Executive Order 2020-24 was just issued that allows people who leave work to self-quarantine to be eligible for unemployment benefits, even if they weren't showing symptoms. People also would be given additional time to file a claim and would not be required to seek employment to remain eligible for benefits. And finally, under Executive Order 24, individuals who have been unemployed have 28 days instead of the 7 to file their claim since their last day of work and may receive 26 weeks of benefit instead of 20. Hopefully this answers some of your questions that you might have. I also want to share with you this new document that's been made available. It tells you specifically how to go about filing that unemployment insurance claim. And again, this link will be down below as well. What can you do to file a claim? What do you need? Again, these are unique circumstances, and we are doing our best to modify a system that had its challenges to start with to help make it a little easier for you that may not be familiar with this process. And also be assured that the claims being made towards your business, to our business owners, those will not count against your existing plan or policy. The next question is a very popular question, and our office has received hundreds of emails on this. It has to do with the school calendar. I get you would like to know what the school calendar is. Wouldn't we all? As a former public school teacher of 22 years, as a mother of 4 and a grandma of 3, having our family around and the change in our daily routine. It's challenging for all of us. We don't have an answer yet for you as to what the school year is going to be. I do appreciate hearing from you, receiving emails to my office. We're working on responding to those so that we can get you the information when we have it next. At this point in time, as I mentioned, no decision has been made. Jeff from CP Federal Credit Union and Kevin from Clark Lake asked the question in regard to school makeup time. Again, we'll continue to gather information so that we have all of the information we need to make that informed decision. This may be, however, the perfect opportunity to put some new measures in place so we can continue learning, so students can continue learning when they're not able to be in school. And I look forward to those conversations as well. I see teachers working hard. I saw on Facebook yesterday one of our local teachers driving by the students' homes, and the students were holding up signs. Now that warmed my heart. We have a lot of dedicated teachers out there. They know how to send the packets home. They know how to relate with students, both in the short notice that Friday they had before they were sent home and during this time. I have a lot of faith in our teachers. I got it's a challenging time. To me, the question we should be asking, not when do kids go back to school, but in the future, we need to tackle some big projects like, what do we do to ensure students keep learning when they're not able to be in school? And again, I look forward to being part of that conversation. The next question is from Karen from Jackson, and she asks a really good question. She asks if, because everything is so confusing right now, there could be some streamlining, both between the federal and the state. Personally, I haven't heard of any programs or policies, anything of that happening, but that's a great point, and I will definitely take that back and share that with our team. Knowing that it's coming from people back home. You know, as a legislator, not only do I represent the 90,000 people, and I'm here to answer your questions and help you have accurate information, but we write the policy and the legislation and the laws that you have to abide by. I know that some of my best legislation in the 3 years I have served come from listening to the people back home. You're the ones that give me the ideas, and I can't wait for all of this to settle so we can continue back creating good policy. We are attempting to continue to work for some normalcy during our days like that, but ideas from you are important. So Karen, thank you for that suggestion. Austin from Jackson asks a question on how are we able to continue working? And as I just mentioned, we are able to continue working. My kitchen table, good thing we've got a big farmhouse with a big family. It's a large kitchen table. I'm able to fill it with piles and stacks. No one's been able to eat at the kitchen table for this last week. But what's important is that I'm organized and I continue doing the work of the people. So we have had a lot of conference calls. I can't even get through a day without recharging my phone, and that's with the Mophie pack on it. So a lot of conference calls. My staff keeps me informed on who I need to be talking to where. I'm communicating through emails and text with my staff. Val and David in my office are a tremendous help, and I wouldn't be able to do it without them. I keep in contact with Representative Leitner, who serves the other half of our Jackson County. Again, we're mentioning having a teletown hall coming up because there are a lot of people with questions, but not everyone has technology. Not everyone feels comfortable with sending an email. Sending an email is my preferred way of communicating right now, simply because I can forward your question on to make sure I'm giving you the right answer, or I can send some attachments. My office number, 517-373-1795. My state email, juliealexander@house.mi.gov. Send me an email. We are able to continue working. These are challenging times, but things haven't stopped. Haley from Spring Arbor asks a question about what are we going to do to help small businesses in this challenging time. So to start with, basically what we've been doing, we'll continue. I think a lot of us will step it up. I've always chosen to shop local, whether it's a local grocery store, local restaurants. Those are the hometown people, and those are the employers. that offer good, solid jobs for families in our community. So continue doing, step up what you're doing to shop local, promote businesses, and that's an easy way to start. You know, I used to do my office hours in local restaurants, and then I switched over just to meeting at the County Tower building. Thank you, Haley. Maybe I'll switch that up again, and from here on out, just go about the community and again, patronize those local businesses even more so. Thanks for that suggestion. But I get it. I get how hard this is as a small business owner. As I sit here at my kitchen table, I'm reflecting on what happened for us and our family farm 2.5 years ago. After 40 years of milking cows, we decided economically it just wasn't feasible anymore. And we had to leave that profession. Now we're still farming. We farm 1,500 acres in our local community here in Hanover, but it's not easy and it's a scary time, all those changes. So we'll continue to be focused on resources for our small business owners because you are the foundation of our community, and I'm grateful for what you do. So a few minutes ago, we were talking about schools and what the calendar looks like for them. That links right into a question Tammy Jo from Jackson asks about feeding kids. Schools can open to provide meals. The governor's office said the following: under the governor's executive order, K to 12th grade school food services are considered critical infrastructure and should continue. For constituents asking where students can receive these free meals, the Michigan Department of Education has an interactive map that allows you to see the locations and where those meals are available. You can do it. We've made it very simple for you. Go to my state website. Again, Julie Alexander, State Representative Julie Alexander. That website, on my website is a link and it says coronavirus information. Click on that. I practiced this all last night. So go to my state website, which click on the link that says coronavirus information. There is a link to school that are feeding kids. It's an interactive where you put your address in there, and it takes you to where those services are available. As new services, schools may be offering, or facilities may be offering meals. Those will be updated accordingly. Students are able to receive 2 free meals a day, no matter what their school district is. And more importantly, although this is just for students grades kindergarten through 12th, it is made available to students with individualized education plans, with students with IEPs, between the ages of 18 and 26. That is available to them also. Brad from Jackson asks what worries me the most. You know, we're going to get through this. We'll be fine. We're going to learn from it. It's scary right now. I am truly grateful for our first responders and our healthcare providers. I'm in constant contact with friends from Henry Ford Allegiance Health Systems, keeping me informed of what's happening in our community. But those out there in our healthcare industry, so grateful for all you do. But what really concerns me is what's going to happen next. When we got through this, when everyone is home and safe and well, and we get back to school and we all get back to work and not have to work from home, it's the economic impact. It's the fallout of all of this downtime. That will be when we're really going to have to step up and be cognizant of some of the unintended consequences of this difficult time. But I know we will get through it. As Michiganders and Americans, we are resilient. So we will just continue to plug forward. We've had a lot of challenging times, and we as a Jackson community are definitely ready to step up and help. Kyle from Napoleon asks a question on Workshare. Kyle, I don't know what that is. I don't know that program. I'm not able to help you on that one, but appreciate the question. Doug from Jackson, he's talking about some individuals that may be skirting around the mandate, may be calling themselves essential when in his opinion they're not. I would start by addressing that. I don't know exactly what a manufacturer is producing or how they are linked to being considered essential or non-essential. I know there are a variety of resources out there. We will make those resources available to you down below and through my website, through my office. as to what that definition is. Again, today is Thursday, March 26th, and every day things change. Just today, the governor offered, here it is, an executive ordered frequently asked questions. So Executive Order 2020-21 has to do with staying home and essential services versus non-essential services. There was a lack of clarity in the executive order, but as of today, this morning, hot off the press, this just arrived. So whether you want to know if bottle return is an essential service, people who are repairing homes for critical infrastructure, maybe you want to know about construction. A lot of questions from construction, individuals in the construction industry asking about that. Real estate agents, brokers, those are a lot of the questions we've been yielding. And again, the executive order came out a few days ago, and then just today, the frequently asked questions with additional insight for you. Again, there's one other question I've been getting a lot of, laundromats. Yes, laundromats, coin laundry employees are considered critical infrastructure workers for the health, safety, well-being of a community. One of the questions that is answered on this frequently asked question, I want to make sure I briefly addressed. Do I need to carry credentials or paperwork that indicate I've been designated a critical infrastructure employee or to travel to and from my residence? Again, the governor's office has just released this response. Do I need to carry papers? The answer is no. There is not a requirement under Executive Order 2020-21 to carry credentials or paperwork with you under any circumstance. So again, that has been a very popular question for me, and the governor provided that clarity on that one just today. So again, as we're looking at what individuals can do, and I've actually gotten phone calls on this too, where they want to report someone they think is doing something that is in violation of the executive order. There is an opportunity to report that. You can do so. The link will be below this Facebook page as well, or reach out to our office, and we're happy to provide that information. But again, where it gets very critical, and the question then becomes, what you see as non-essential may be deemed essential based on the governor's executive order, based on the services that they are providing. Brenda from Jackson asks the question about our Jackson County courts. I reached out to our Jackson County administrator, and he informed me that the courts are running, but at very limited capacity, approximately 20%. It's just done on essential services. If you have a specific question regarding the courts, I would suggest you call them first before heading down there. Shelly from the Center for Family Health called in with this question. If someone is self-employed and working in an empty building, are they allowed to work? All I can tell you, Shelly, is that the executive's order, the governor's executive order, makes clear only individuals that are essential should be out working. We can go to the frequently asked questions and see if that is clarified, but at this point in time, that is the best information I can give you, to simply follow the governor's executive order. It becomes very difficult and challenging. A lot of my phone calls have been coming from maintenance workers or yard workers. This is the time, the weather's nice. They want to be outside working. They want to start that yard work. That's a major part of their income. They maybe plowed snow during the winter months, not a lot of snow either. So they're depending on this income. But again, only essential workers, and based on the governor's new executive order, the frequently answered questions, those doing landscaping work are not considered essential. So again, we need more clarification from the governor. When you're working outside and you're all alone and isolated, it gets a little confusing, but we're doing our best to provide you guidance on the governor's executive order. Buddy from Horton, thank you for your question. I think of all the questions I've answered today, this one's probably one of my most favorite. Because you ask, why am I optimistic about the future? Because these are difficult times, absolutely. However, we will overcome. We as a community are going to pull together and get through this. We as a state, we as a country, we've got this. I'm a half full rather than a half empty type of person. And that's exactly what this means. I've had the chance to learn and grow. I've had a chance to see what's happening in our community, learn about the success stories, those that are helping others, the business owners, the individuals that are helping for their neighbors, the elderly, the vulnerable, those at home needing help and having their neighbors reach out to them. It absolutely warms my heart. Recently, I heard about the innovative multi-jurisdictional response team. It was our firefighters, it was our first response teams, it was our fire chiefs that came up with the idea, why don't we create one special location, open up a fire station that had been closed for quite some time, and put one team in place that will be exposed to the COVID-19 virus. Instead of exposing all of our EMS people, let's have one team tackle this. Those are the true heroes right now. The innovative thinkers out there finding solutions. Our CEOs that are being very generous. Our local businesses that are stepping up. Our service industry that are sharing tips. I know when I brought dinner home the other night, I stopped and I was just a little bit extra generous with a tip I left at the drive-through window, and their faces just lit up. We're here to help each other. Some of the things that are happening right now in our community, I learned about the other day. I learned when I went down to visit the Interfaith Shelter. The residents are not there right now. The Interfaith Shelter residents are being housed at several different hotels in our Jackson community. Right now, we have more than 40 homeless people and families relocated quickly. They were relocated quickly. Everybody stepped up to make this happen. They are moved to local hotels where they could achieve the social distancing and feel supported. That warms my heart to see others helping others in that manner. The partners involved were the Interfaith Shelter, United Way of Jackson, local hotels, Community Action, the volunteers who worked at the hotels, and the City of Jackson employees who helped them make that move. In addition, there's been a fund created, COVID-19 Response Fund. It was created by the United Way of Jackson County and the Jackson Community Foundation with the support of local companies, foundations, and individuals. As of a couple of days ago, through the United Way's local website, you can make a donation, and they are already over $100,000 being donated. So this sheet right here offers additional information. What are the items that they need donated? So what can we as a Jackson community do? We can donate some of these items that we might have, or we might be able to purchase and donate them. Where do we take them? The YMCA. All of the information is listed here as to what is needed. Most importantly, you can donate your time if you have questions, if there are certain ways you can deliver meals. If you are in need yourself, by calling 211, that is a perfect way to gather additional information of something you might provide, or something you might need, or to help someone that is in need. Give them that information. Again, 211 is a great resource. We have options available to those that are in need, those that can help. But I'm grateful for all of those that are working diligently in our community to get us up and running. Hopefully, we were able to offer additional insight for you. A lot of questions out there. In fact, we may not have even gotten to all of the questions you have submitted. So I look forward to being available to you to answer those questions. The bottom line is this: these are challenging times. As your legislator, I'm happy to offer additional insight and get the accurate information that you need. Let's face it, working from home is challenging too. I mean, with all the distractions here, in and out, working from home by its...
Juliet, behind you, I don't know if that's your granddaughter. Oh.
No, is someone pulling into the farm though?
No, I guess we'll keep going.
Okay, well, that's a good thing because, again, my phone is blowing up as we're sitting here doing this, and I'll get back to some of the emails and getting some answers there for everyone. But continue to practice the social distancing, working from home, and taking care of yourself and being safe. Again, I'm State Representative Julie Alexander. Thank you very much to Jackson County Chamber of Commerce for the opportunity to speak to you and answer your questions.